It's an early morning, 2010. I'm sitting on a bench in front of a GameStop store, waiting for it to open. I got the day off, and I know exactly what I'm gonna be spending it on. As I wait, another young man roughly my age comes and sits down beside me, looking at the same store. To break the awkward silence, I turn my head to him and say, "Aliens vs Predator?" He responds by answering, "Yeah." I'm HixDK. This is my review of Aliens vs Predator, the game. The game was published by Sega and made by Rebellion, the same people that made the original Alien vs Predator from 1999. But for some reason it wasn't called Alien vs Predator 3, which confused many fans, so the internet was quick to dub it Alien vs Predator 2010, the year it came out on Windows, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. In this review, we're looking at the Windows version. When you start up the game, you can choose between 3 different campaigns: Marine, Predator and Alien. And as always, let's start by looking at the Marine. You're playing as Rookie, the newest member aboard the USS Marlow. You and your fellow Marines are preparing to do a combat drop on the planet BG-386, where everything has gone to hell. You're knocked out, and when arriving on the planet, you keep fading in and out. When you finally come to your senses, you realize you've been left alone and many of the Marines has been killed. You then try to regroup with the surviving Marines and complete the mission, but it doesn't take long before the main objective is to find a way to get off the planet. The equipment you have with you in the Marine campaign in this game is Motion Tracker, which now has an arrow to point you in the right direction. Unlimited flares, but you can only have one active at a time. A shoulder lamp, which doesn't use battery, so you can always have it on. And a hacking device. Although you don't do any hacking, you just plug it in and it will do the rest for you. When it comes to weapons, you will always be armed with a pistol. The rest is something you pick up on the way, like the shotgun, pulse rifle, all fan favorite smart gun, sniper, and flamethrower. If you get wounded, you can heal yourself by using a stim pack. You will find them around the map, and you can carry 3 at a time. And that's it. That's what we get for the Marine, which means things we won't get that we got in previous games are welding torch, image intensifier, armor, grenade launcher, rocket launcher, minigun, movable sentry guns, dual-wielding pistols and combat knife. But hey, at least we got unlimited ammo for the pistol, so yay? Beside the pistol, you can now only carry 2 weapons, which means you have to decide which weapons to have with you and which weapons to leave on the ground. And it doesn't matter what weapons you have and how much ammo you got when you finish a level, because the next level it is predetermined what weapons you start with and how much ammo you get with it, which is a little annoying.
Welcome to the fucking Corps.
Kid, there's a smart gun with your name on it right there. Grab it. Got hostiles inbound.
When you come across the smart gun, it will take off both weapon slots, which means when you run out of ammo, you have only your pistol to fall back on. Which I guess is not a problem, because you can now as the Marine go hand-to-hand combat with the alien. It is quite handy, I will admit, but it's not quite fair now, is it? The Alien campaign starts off with a kick-ass cutscene in a research facility on the same planet, but I was quite disappointed when I found out I didn't get to play through the Alien life cycle, like AVP 2, which was one of my favorite moments in that game. Instead we are shown through cinema how we are born into captivity and branded the number 6 and being used as a test subject. But due to a power failure, you manage to escape, free of aliens and even the Queen herself. From here on it is all about protecting the hive. When you're given an objective, the Queen's head will emerge up in the left corner with a text explaining you what to do. And I really like this idea because it makes you feel a part of the hive and a connection to your Queen, no matter where you are. A thing that has returned to the Alien campaign, which was there in the first game but not in the second, is that you can now, once again, destroy lights. If it's dark enough, people can be standing right in front of you without seeing you.
This place is screwing with me.
And speaking about seeing, you can now spot friends and foes through walls. And to make it even better, the Alien Hiss has returned, and when using it, enemies will walk towards your direction to check it out, which gives you an advantage when you're on the hunt and wish to split up the group. You can also move on any surface, but if you go from wall to ceiling, you have to push a button before you can actually do it. Luckily this is a feature you can turn off. The air vents, you again have to push a button to get in and out. This wasn't a system that was there in the previous games, and because of it, playing as the Alien doesn't feel as fluent as it did before. But if we look at a surface and push jump, we'll automatically jump and stick to it, and that is a good thing. The hunt view has also changed. Instead of allowing you to see in the dark, it would now highlight air vents and mission objectives. If you use your hunt view on an enemy, you can do a jump attack, which will in most cases make the enemy fall over. Other attack forms here includes your arms, a light attack with your tail, a heavy attack with your tail, which takes a little longer to do. A problem here is if you want to go in and do a bunch of light attacks, your Alien will, by himself, start winding up for the heavy attacks, and that can be a little annoying. Your Alien will heal over time, feed off the dead and you will heal faster, do a hit bite and you will get all your health back instantly. Now to something new, something we haven't seen before in any of the AVP games up until now. When you, as the Alien, get close to an enemy, you can do an animation. If it's a civilian, you will hold them down and a facehugger will appear and do what facehuggers do. And just like earlier, this makes you feel more part of the hive. If you get close to an enemy soldier, you can still do an animation, but, well, glory kill time. In the Predator campaign, you play as Dark, who is on his way to the planet BG-386 to investigate a distress call sent by a Youngblood. It is made clear right away that there are both humans and aliens running around on the sacred hunting grounds. This is a problem because there is a pyramid built by your ancestors, and inside are some old artifacts you cannot allow falling into the hands of the young human race. So as you go, taking care of your fallen brothers and recover artifacts, you discover there is a Predalien, abomination in your eyes, and now the hunt truly begins. In the beginning of this campaign, your weapons and equipment are very limited and you have to pick it up as you go. But when you're done, what you have is a mask with 2 visions, one to spot humans and combat androids, and a vision for aliens. It can also give you a read on what kind of enemy you're facing. With zoom in and out, a cloaking device, but there are situations where you will decloak, water being one of them. And the ability to distract your enemy.
Sounded like...
Energy and health bar. To recover your strength, you have to use a health stim. You can carry up to 3. This is the exact same system as the Marines' Stimpaks. The Predator has always been able to do some long leaps. Now you can choose where you want to jump to, and the Predator does it for you. This prevents you from falling down and give you a little more control, which is nice. Another elite Predator will guide you through the campaign. He will give you information and tell you what to do. It shows up as text in the bottom of the screen. It's quite similar to the Alien campaign, and I think this is a cool way to do it. Let's take a look at the Predator's weapons. First, the wrist blades, now on both arms, and you will be using them a lot through this campaign. And like the Alien, you can do some brutal takedowns with them. The shoulder cannon, which uses energy, a lot of energy. And now you don't need the right vision for it to lock on. Proximity mines, which you charge up. You could also detonate them by remote, sort of like the remote bomb from AVP2. It just works a little different. The smart disc, which you can control with your ready fuel, and it will always return to you, never get stuck in the wall like seen in the previous games. And then we have the combi stick, only this time it is not a melee weapon. We can only throw it as a spear, which is cool, and we don't even have to go pick it up. After a few seconds we can throw another one, and we can do this again and again and again. It kind of feels like you are dragging a big bag around filled with unlimited spears.
Hear that?
So things we don't get for the Predator, which we had in previous games, are Night/Predator Vision, Charge Imager, Energy Shift Device, Energy Flechette, Spear Gun, Net Gun, and Plasma Gun. To get energy for the Predator's weapon, you need to find these power nodes lying around. Now I actually find them funny, because they are used in all 3 campaigns. The Marine needs to plug them in an emergency generator to get something up and running.
Good job, rookie. I guess we're even.
And the Alien destroys them to shut something down. Another thing they all have in common is that they have now all received a full body. If you look down or turn, you can see your own body. This is something new, and I'm glad that they added it in. Also, all the races can now sprint, not for a long time, but it can help you get out of a tough situation.
Get out of there!
Some environment can be moved by walking into them, others can be used to help you. Now let's talk about some of the different types of enemies you will be facing throughout this game. First, the alien, more precisely, the warrior. It will charge you, come out of air vents from the ceiling, the floors, and even at times, it will come out of the goddamn walls. Then we have the spitter. It looks like your classic lurker, except that this one spits acids, and it will for the most time keep its distance, but getting too close and it will attack you, just like the warrior. These two aliens will use the dark to their advantage, and if opportunity presents itself, they will try to outflank you. Sometimes they're not even attacking you right away, it almost looks like they're sizing you up, which I think looks pretty sweet. And they're even smart enough to avoid some of your attacks. Shooting off limbs and it will still crawl towards you. If you keep moving around, it will eventually bleed out, but if it grabs a hold of you, it can kill you. The alien acid blood is quite dangerous. It can spray on you, and even their corpses are dangerous. But if you're a predator doing a glory kill, it apparently doesn't affect you. In the previous games, the facehugger used to scare the crap out of me, but in this game, not so much. For two reasons. First, it will not automatically attack you when it sees you. It will run around on the ground, giving you plenty of time to kill it off before it gets to do anything. And if it finally attacks you, it's not an instant kill like it used to be. If you have enough health, you will just grab it and throw it back on the ground. The chestburster you will only encounter a couple of times, and it will always try to escape, never attack you, which is fine by me. The human enemies we have unarmed personnel, marines with different loadouts, and a cool thing here is if you're playing as Predator and you're using your laser sight, they will see you, and once they know you are in the area, they will shoot wildly into your last position, or at least where they think you are, which is pretty awesome. And then we have the combat androids, which are pretty tough, and it looks like they can't see through the Predator's cloak like they could in AVP 2. And sometimes when you think they're dead, they will sit up and start shooting.
Shit. Reboot from that motherfucker.
And if these three races shall meet, they will start ripping each other apart. Now you will get to fight Praetorians, Predators and a Pedalian, and except for the Praetorians, these are only reserved for boss fights, which are very scripted. I had hoped that you would run into these characters more randomly in the game, but that's just me. The music in this game is okay. It has different themes depending on which campaign you are playing, but at the end of the day, it's not something you're going to remember. Voice acting is sliding between okay and bad. When you're fighting the Marines, it sounds like they only had 3 or 4 guys because you will be recognizing the same voices and death screams throughout the entire game. There is one exception however, and that is the character called Bishop Wellens, who is voiced by Lance Henriksen, the actor who played Bishop in the movie Aliens, and he delivers, hands down.
I knew you'd make it this far.
Perhaps he was so expensive that they couldn't afford a voice actor for the main character Rookie, because he does not say a single word throughout the game, not one.
It's just that I've had a lot more practice.
The sound effects are fine, but interesting enough, I don't think they have borrowed anything from any of the movies. Sure, some of the sound effects are close, but I believe they had made everything from scratch and still managed to pull it off. There is one soundbox though that is so loud it just wants to make you rip your headset off and throw it across the room. And if you played it, you know where it is. And on the subject of bugs, there are a couple, most of them being texture based, that being missing textures or they just react weirdly, but there aren't many and it's definitely not anything that's going to ruin your game. With that said, the game still looks good. I believe even today the graphic holds up. Rebellion made such a good job with their lighting effect in their first AVP game that it's nice to see that this is something they still know how to do, as you will be seeing aliens everywhere. The 3 campaigns are intertwined and you will be walking through some of the same maps, but depending on your race, it will be approached differently, which is a fun idea. I had also hoped that this meant that you were going to bump into yourself from some of the other campaigns, like in AVP 2, but sadly this is not the case, and so honestly the lack of maps just feels a little cheap. The story is okay. It could have helped if it had some really strong characters, but it doesn't. The only character that's a little bit interesting is Tequila, but we don't get to spend much time with her.
Shit! Fucking things. Looks like they're well contained. Come on, let's keep moving.
Shut the fuck up, will ya? Just stay here. I'll investigate.
In the previous game you could eavesdrop as the alien and predator, and that would give you more depth into the story. You can eavesdrop here as well, but you're not gonna overhear anything that is interesting. Certainly not anything that's going to push the story forward. In fact, you kinda know where everything is going. There are not many surprises here. Now I'm a big Alien fan, so you gotta believe me when I say that the Predator campaign is actually the best one. It might have something to do that the whole story revolves around this old Predator pyramid, and when playing the campaign, it's like you're diving into the history of your ancestors, and that the pyramid is built for you to walk through it. Plus, the planet is very green with lots of trees. Ironically enough, this makes the Marine and especially the Alien campaign feels like they don't quite belong here. Another new thing is that there is now collectibles. The Alien gets to smash these little containers and the Predator gets to pick up trophy bells and the Marine audio logs. Now there's nothing interesting on these audio logs except for one made by Carl Bishop Whalen, where he talks about this woman who have fought and defeated the aliens 3 times. I believe he is referring to Ellen Ripley from the Alien movies. Maybe that is why this game is not called Alien vs Predator 3, because it's not a continuation of Alien vs Predator 2, but rather a continuation of the Alien movies, more precisely Alien 3. And if that's true, then maybe Carl Bishop Whalen in this game is the same Whalen we saw at the end of Alien 3. Huh. When people talk about this game, you will often hear them say that the multiplayer is dead, and that is sort of true. However, in my experience, I could usually always find an active server. But for this review, I invited a bunch of friends to test out some of the different multiplayer modes that the game offers.
Survive the alien infestation.
My god, it could be any one of us.
Don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Game over, man! Game over!
The first mode we tried was Infestation, where all players spawn as Marines, except one who is chosen to be the alien.
Oh, you lost your head there, Hex. Nice.
It is now his mission to kill the Marines. When he does so, they too will respawn as aliens.
What happened there?
He blew himself up.
Ah, nice.
This will keep on happening until all the Marines are dead or you run out of time.
Oh, he's gonna win. No, he isn't.
Oh, no! So close.
Bruto. Fucking Bruto.
Oh, he's here.
Sorry,
God.
sorry,
Oh,
that was me.
The second mode we tried was Predator Hunt, where it's one Predator against all the Marines.
He's gone, he's gone.
I'll head for the chopper.
just wondering how long that was
Do
going to
the
be.
chopper.
But here's the kicker. Only the Predator can earn points by killing Marines, and the only way to become the Predator is to kill him.
Oh, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
I was just gonna say that.
Eliminate the Marines.
Oh, you absolute monster.
Hunt duration extended.
Alright. Jesus.
Watch the trees, boys.
Look at this.
It's definitely up above in
Hunt
here.
duration extended.
Whoa,
Here we go.
Jesus.
Oh. GG.
So, Robin, how did you manage to get -1? I'm curious.
I got killed right away.
When playing on a ranked server, you will earn points. These points, through times, will unlock a skin for one of the 3 races. A nice Easter egg here is that we got Nethead and Hunter, characters from the movie Alien vs Predator, and even Wolf from the movie Alien vs Predator 2. Now, even though I don't like these movies, I still think it's cool that they are included. For the Marines, there is no cameos, not even Tequila or Bishop from their own game, which is just like, why not? The next mode is Species Team Deathmatch, which, just like its predecessor, seems to be the most popular.
Oh my god, you scared me so much, Hex.
The game does have its small annoying parts that you will definitely feel in the multiplayer. For starters, everybody can block, even if it's a melee attack from an alien. A guy who is AFK can defend himself. Let me just repeat that. A guy who is not even sitting at his computer can defend himself against you and throw you on your ass. Problem 2. When you do these glory kills, it's an animation you can't cancel, so if an enemy comes around, you're pretty much dead.
Nicely done, Hex. Oh.
When I bought the game, I got it in a steel box with beautiful artwork. Included was a map pack with 4 multiplayer maps. Later, another map pack came along with 4 new maps, so 8 multiplayer maps. But here's the third problem. They cost money, which means not a lot of players has them. And if you try to start a match with one of these maps, most of the players will get thrown off, leaving you alone. So nobody plays them, which means you have to play the same maps over and over again that everybody has, and it gets a little boring after a time. In my opinion, these maps should have been free.
Damn, Kano. Damn.
Yeah, we hunt in pack.
The last mode we looked at is Survivor, where up to 4 people play as Marines against waves and waves of aliens. This is, by the way, also the only multiplayer mode that you can play alone.
Going for ammo.
Go, go, go!
Oh, Jesus, my heart.
Yeah, this is not healthy.
Bloody hell.
Warning. Incoming wave detected.
Get back, Red! Look out!
That was slow.
Oh no!
Sorry. No. Why did you guys leave me?
Warning. Incoming wave detected.
We lost a Marine.
That was a training
Nowhere to go.
exercise.
Nowhere to go.
Holy shit!
Oh, you killed one too. It's only Brett Mist and Kano that didn't kill a friendly.
We're professionals, I think.
I think I killed you, Kano.
Well, your score
Minus.
says,
Minus 1,000.
In conclusion, this game is actually not as bad as everybody made it out to be when it was first released back in the day. So therefore, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. If you have an alien or predator itch that needs to be scratched, this game will do it. I'm HexDK, signing off.